Hello, and welcome to this special Q&A video with Andromedan contactee Alex Collier. In today's video, we're sharing an exclusive sneak peek from the latest webinar's question and answer session. If you'd like to dive deeper and watch the full webinar replay, it's available for just $6.99 over at alexcollier.tv, exclusively for our community of truth seekers. Before we get started, we'd be so grateful if you could like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to get notified of all new videos. Your support helps spread Alex's messages from the Andromedans to more people around the world. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Whether it's your thoughts, a question, or even just an emoji, every comment counts, and we read them all. Your feedback and engagement really make a difference. If you'd like to show a little extra support, consider clicking the Super Thanks button, the heart with a $sign, to give a tip. Every bit helps us continue to bring you more content from Alex Collier. Now, let's get into this special Q&A with Alex.
Hi, Brad. You had stated that there is a, quote, sun, unquote, at the center of the Earth. Has it always been there? How did you discover it? Does the Arctic opening go all the way to the center? Much thanks.
Well, gosh, I wish I could say that I discovered it or seen it, but I have not. I'm just going on what the Germans and the Andromedan Society called, and there's a central sun, and these are going off of old Tibetan diagrams that kind of look like mandalas, but they are indeed called central sun. At the end of World War II, keep in mind, here's a bigger blow-up picture of that the Soviets were the first to get into Berlin and many of the other cities that had the high offices of the German fighting forces. So the Wehrmacht, the Kriegsmarine, and the Luftwaffe, but also the Andromedan Society. So they got all these records and they brought them back and they put them into this file called the Orion file. And that went straight up to Stalin himself, that they were studying all this stuff that the Nazis said that they had discovered, including the hollow earth and the central sun in that hollow earth. I'm trying to find the picture from the Orion file that came out of the Andromedan offices where they said, yeah, there's a hollow earth clearly visible on this map. But in the meantime, it's also on this map of Agartha, the city of the advanced races. And I still can't wrap my head around this, Alex. Maybe you can help me out. What could possibly be a central sun in this hollow earth? I've always kind of envisioned it as just a whole bunch of series of caves. And also, you know, we've got all these deep underground military bases that get carved out. What could possibly be the source of illumination, or how could this central sun exist down there? I don't know.
Well, if you look at the idea that you have photons that pass through the Earth, and at some point it could be that there is a collection point and a zero gravity kind of point where all these photons and electrons would come together and it would form like a ball. And because they're feeding off of each other or interacting with each other, it would illuminate. It would create a source of illumination. And that's my understanding that of exactly what that is. It's a collection point of everything that comes through space, through the planet, protons, electrons, and other things, and it collects in a what we call a sphere, and that it causes illumination. Now, many ET craft have a source of light that has nothing to do with light bulbs or anything else like that. And what it is they have a way of exciting photons and electrons in the ship And what it does is it just creates light. And it appears that there's no real single source of light, but that's what it's doing. It's very, very advanced technology according to us, based on where we're at.
Yep.
But my question to you is, how could we have this inner Earth and this central sun on a flat Earth? How would that work, Brad?
I don't think it could, but this is the Andromedan central sun map, and it rotates in an opposite direction as the Earth rotates. So that's kind of interesting.
Yes, it would.
So it's called the Orion file, this multi-file report based on the Andromedan documents captured at the end of World War II. And it mentions Agartha based on the Andromedan conclusion that there really is an inner Earth. And the Soviets were very anxious to find an entrance to it. So based on the very detailed conclusions the Germans made, researcher Frank D. Kammer, this guy that helped me with this book, can only conclude that, quote, their detailed scientific data, they refer to and cite facts that we today can only start to grasp with our computers and satellites. The Germans wrote about it in the early 1940s. They described planetary revolutions, distances, masses, and elementary compositions they knew about. And so in the Soviets in the early 1980s, with their first computers, were able to confirm these findings that the Germans had figured out in the 1940s. How advanced is that?
Well, let me just share with you that a lot of this knowledge was known to be in the Library of Alexandria from previous civilizations. They knew about this.
Yep.
In fact, don't be surprised when we finally get an introduction that those in the earth at one time lived on the surface. Don't at all be surprised. So, but that's a whole nother chapter in another book for Brad.
Well, but you said earlier, what might precipitate disclosure? And it could very well be these interterrestrials who make themselves known, coming out of Antarctica and finally holding a press conference and saying, here we are, here we've been, and showing videos and images of their life down there. And that could very well be. Like Stuart Swerdlow said, they want to come out with it. They just don't know how the world's going to take to the idea.
Well, sure. If you have to hide, you enslave yourself as well.
Right.
You know, and you know, it's just like the former rulers of the planet, you know, they create a prison planet only to make themselves the prison guards, and you're a prisoner too. So you've created a system that enslaved yourself, and it's just a bunch of numbskulls, you know, a bunch of knuckleheads that they would plan something like this only to entrap themselves. I mean, you just, you know, anyway.
Do you have any more information about the mystery Greenland? Does that mean the Greenland mystery? And if so, what's the Greenland mystery? That it's ice.
The name
is not green.
Greenland, that was given by Eric the Red, the Viking, who settled on the southwest shores, the only real grasslands in Greenland. And this here's an example of early fake news. And he wanted to use the name Greenland to attract other Icelanders, which is far more free of ice than Greenland is. Should have been the opposite names. And he did, in fact, get his family, including Leif Erikson, who's the real first European discoverer of North America, many centuries before Columbus, that made his way all the way down to New England. And it's known that Leif Erikson made it to New England. Not only did he build a longhouse that is brother and sister and other Vikings went and inhabited, but they created wine. And wild grapes only grow from southern Maine to Connecticut. So they must have been in that area, which is really Massachusetts, because they had a slave on their ship that knew, he was a German slave that knew how to make grapes. So they collected the grapes, they built barrels, they crushed the grapes, fermented it. They had yeast. So when Leif Erikson went back to the Greenland colonies, not only with timber, and that was what they were originally going to collect in the new lands down there, but they had barrels of wine that they shared with the Greenland colonies. And so for the rest of his life, his nickname was Leif the Lucky. And unfortunately, Eric the Red passed. So Leif Erikson, the eldest son, took command of the Greenland colonies. He never did return to the wineland, Vinland. They even named it after the grapes that grow wild there. And he never got to experience a return trip. But Greenland, turns out, plays a very vital role in the discovery of North America.
And in fact, you have the Knights Templar who
Also
were in Acadia, which is now Nova Scotia, hundreds of years before Columbus was even born.
Yep.
So, to quote JP, RJP, the history we've been given is rubbish.
Complete rubbish.
Absolute rubbish.
I did a press trip once to Louisiana, and it was during Mardi Gras, but we were up in Shreveport, the second city that has a big Mardi Gras celebration. And we had a historian that came there to tell us the history of the French, the Nouveau French, who basically got booted out of Nova Scotia and Maine and those northern Canada provinces when the British took over. They were given the option of going back to France or to go to New France, which was still run by the French. So they chose to go to New Orleans, and they didn't really quite get along with the Nouveau French in New Orleans. So they chose to go out to the bayou and live in the swamps of Louisiana. And the word Cajun comes from Acadia, Cajun. So that's the whole culture of the Cajuns is a throwback from Acadia, Alex, just from those old days of New France here in North America.
That's fascinating. I didn't know that.
And you like to wear the fleur-de-lis hat of the New Orleans Saints.
I do. That's my jam.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying today's video. Want to stay up to date with all the latest news from Alex Collier? Don't miss out. Sign up for his free email newsletter at alexcollier.news and be the first to know about his live webinars, new revelations, and exclusive insights. It's quick and easy, and you'll never miss an important update. Just click the link in the description or head to alexcollier.news to sign up now. And now back to our regular scheduled content.
Do you feel that the citizens of Earth should prepare to join the Galactic Federation of Worlds? And will it be beneficial? This is recommended by Elena Deman.
Well, I would say for sure. Are we grown up enough, Alex, to be joining the table at the Federation of Planets? I think we are, now that we're not being manipulated by the reptilians.
Well, that is the $64,000 question, isn't it? Yes, we're no longer being manipulated. Are we taking responsibility for the things that have done and that we're still doing? Are we owning it? And taking responsibility is a huge condition to be in the major leagues. to be in the Star League and to go off into other worlds and interact. Authenticity is how we're going to be measured. Authenticity. Are we authentic with each other, and can we be authentic with others? That's the question on the table, I would think. At least one of the questions on the table that's huge. Authenticity means that we understand everything that we did that was wrong, and we embrace doing everything that we know is right, and teaching that to others, being a model to other civilizations that we will meet that are evolving. So we'll see. I want to say yes. I do. I just at the moment don't know. The problem is occasionally I watch the news and it kind of deflates the balloon.
Yeah. So don't watch news.
Don't watch the news, right?
Thank you so much for watching today's question and answer video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to stay updated on new videos. Your support truly helps us spread Alex's messages from the Andromedans and reach more people. For those interested in the complete experience, remember that the full webinar replay is available for just $6.99 at alexcollier.tv. This is where you'll find Alex's in-depth insights and answers to more questions from our community. We'd also love to hear from you. Leave a comment or drop an emoji below. We read every single comment, and your engagement really means a lot to us. To keep up with the latest from Alex Collier, you can visit alexcollier.org for more about his work, alexcollier.news to sign up for our email newsletter with the latest updates and exclusive content, and alexcollier.live for the most recent news and info. And don't miss our full library of over 250 past webinars on alexcollier.tv. Thanks again for supporting the work of Alex Collier. Your support makes it all possible, and we're truly grateful for each and every one of you. See you next time. If you would like to see the Andromedan contactee Alex Collier live via video stream, we hold a live online seminar every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information on upcoming live webinars, please visit alexcollier.org.